Hello, I wanted to make a video today about trusting in the process. This is something that I am going through at the moment, and it is all part of the awakening experience, which I've realized. I thought like the awakening experience was my initial first experience where I received a download of information. And I realise now that it's an ongoing experience. It's like, just something that's a part of my life now that I'm just going through all the time. And like what I'm learning, because I'm learning a lot through it, especially like through what would be classed as the bad experiences, and that it's teaching me a lot. And like the things that I'm manifesting, it's teaching me a lot, and I think that's all part of it as well. Like I've realized that my state of mind has shifted from where I was a few years ago to where I am now. My state of mind has completely shifted, and like I'm suffering from a lot less mental illness. Like nothing has happened to kind of create that other than this awakening experience and my own being in the present moment and trusting in the process. And what I mean by trusting in the process is I've found that I can manifest my desires a lot more effortlessly if I am trusting and in a place of surrender. And then things come into my reality. If I'm in my subconscious mind, at the back of my mind, kind of thinking, oh, I'm really worried about this, I'm really worried about that, I'm really worried about this, I'm really worried about that, then that's what's manifesting, because my thoughts are creating my reality. So like with my business and that, I didn't realise, as usually I don't realise until it's further down the line, that I was traumatised from running a business in the UK. And like that trauma has kind of come into this business that I'm running now. And in my subconscious mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? And I'm having this fear come up. And in turn, like I said before about my fears manifesting, it's what's happening. It's literally what's happening. And I'm not in a place of trust and surrender. When I've been in a place of trust and surrender, then things have come together really easily. When I'm like in my own mind, kind of thinking, oh, how am I going to do this? Like when I'm in my 3D mind and I'm not trusting and surrendering, and I'm like, oh, where's this money going to come from? Where's this going to come from? Where's this going to come from? Oh, I've got to do this. And I'm like trying to plan things out, and I'm not going with the flow. And therefore, like the energy, it's like I'm blocked from manifesting my desires, and instead I'm manifesting my fears, because I'm trying to kind of work everything out. Like, where's this going to come from? Whereas before, when I was in a state of flow, things just appeared in my reality. Like they just showed up out of nowhere. And it was like, I was like believing in magic and miracles and things like that. And I was like in this fucking state of awe. I was like, oh my God. But then over time, that's kind of, I've gone back into my same way of thinking, where I'm thinking, how's this going to happen? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, that worry mentality. And like, rather than using my affirmations to kind of affirm what I believe, that I trust in the universe, because I'm putting out this energy and I like trust that it's coming back to me. Like I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh my God. So I'm in that 3D mind matrix and I'm trying to kind of break out of it. So I'm using like my visions and what I've been told during my awakening and a lot of like YouTube videos and things like that to really kind of train my mind not to do that, so I can be in a place of trust and surrender rather than worry and, oh, how's this going to happen? How's that going to happen? Like looking at it from a 3D perspective, trying to really kind of create it from this place of flow and surrender and like go back to that place of like being in awe and that. Like when I first woke up and I was manifesting things, like I was just amazed with how things were coming together. Like I was just amazed, and like I felt so good, and I felt like, you know, this real sense of freedom and all this stuff. But then over time, like things have happened and this experience has happened and this one's happened and I've lost faith and I've lost trust, and you know, I'm like, you know, my mind's all over the place because I'm like, you know, is this real, is this not real? Like, you know, should I be behaving this way because like, you know, I have these beliefs and they're a bit like different from what I used to believe, and I've gone back into my old beliefs, but I can't go fully back into my old beliefs because I've had too many experiences. So like now I'm having to trust and surrender again, and like kind of train my mind out of the thoughts that I'm having. So I'm using positive affirmations like the universe loves me, the best is yet to come. And I'm thinking those rather than thinking other thoughts. It's like a meditation. And then I'm thinking about all these things that I've experienced and all the things that my guides have shown me. And I'm like, you know, trying to kind of use that and manifest that, like focusing on that rather than focusing on my 3D life, focusing on the things that I've been shown. So like it's very difficult to kind of get me to do things because I'm not concentrating on the 3D world. Like our TV, we've got a Fire Stick, and the live TV hasn't been streaming, and John's like, you know, pissy about it and like wants it fixed and everything like that, and it's just not registering with me that I know how to fix it until like he's really moaning and he's like, you knew how to do it all along, and it's like, John, it's not registering. Like other thoughts, because I'm so kind of like thinking about this all the time and trying to manifest this reality that I've been shown in my visions. It's like daydreaming almost. Like I'm not like doing my practical 3D matrix tasks and that. I mean, I am on a certain level, but then my mind is focused elsewhere and that. Like, you know, it's very difficult to be in two places at once and that. And it's, you know, I'm trying not to manifest my fears. So I'm trying to shut that subconscious mind down. And I'm getting a lot of messages through for other people as well, but they're for me too. I find like when I'm in a state of flow and I'm talking to other people, it's like my guides are talking to me too. Like the messages that are coming through are so relevant for everyone because we all have this same inner working, and it's like I'm learning, because it's a learning process, to trust and surrender, and learning to kind of think differently rather than being run by my subconscious mind and that. So taking control of my own mind. And I mean, it's not an easy process. I mean, I think I'm doing quite well compared to how I was. I'm doing quite well. Like, the anxiety is a lot less. It's still very intense when I get it, and like I have these feelings like I just can't do this anymore, and then I'm praying and, like, you know, feel like I just can't do this anymore. But then I'm again not trusting, but at the same point I'm calling in this other reality, because I'm like, I can't do this like fear based survival mode life anymore. I can't do it. Like, I just can't do it anymore. So then I'm literally manifesting a different way of thinking for myself. Through that happening, I'm, like, you know, learning to control my own mind rather than being controlled by my mind. And it's like, you know, trying not to react to things, trying to be more present. It's tiring, and it's not easy. It's really not easy to kind of do, because, you know, you're constantly thinking all the time, and it's like, I know I should be meditating at times, but then using like the mantras and that is sort of like a meditation as well. And I'm waiting to see what manifests into my reality, because I've had experiences in the past where I've been in this state of flow and things have just come together really easily, like I've said in my other videos and that. So I'm trying to get back into that state and into like a place of peace on the inside, and that, which isn't easy at the moment because there's so much going on everywhere. And yeah, I know it's all happening for a reason. And it's like, you know, just kind of having that faith and that trust. And, you know, I'm listening to YouTube videos because they're literally talking about my visions. And I'm like, how can they be talking about things like that I've experienced and I've been told from my guides, unless it's like actually legitimate? And that, again, not trying to get anyone to believe me, but like, if anyone kind of is having those subconscious fears come up and realizing that they're manifesting them into their reality, then this might help. Because, like, using the techniques that I'm using, okay, it's very difficult to kind of, like, you know, at the moment I'm guessing I will get the hang of it, because I keep like jumping from 3D to 5D or whatever. I guess it's 5D. I'm all over the place in my thinking. Like, I'm not expanded all the time, and then I go into the lower mind, and the fear and the worry and everything like that just keeps coming up. And then I've got to, like, you know, and I'll hit rock bottom and I'll be like, I can't fucking do this anymore. I can't live like this. And then something will come up and it will kind of like lift my mood and take me back out of that mind into my higher mind, which is more expansive, and, like, you know, focus my attention on that rather than being in that subconscious fear mind, because it is literally manifesting. Like, all my worries and fears about the bar literally happening. Like, it's exactly what I was thinking has manifested. Exactly what I thought would happen has manifested. And it's like trying to take myself beyond that now. So I'm more focused on what I want. Like, the visions to me were like, that's a bit weird, that's a bit out there. Like, you know, I don't see how that's going to manifest. But like, listening to other people and even looking at things like evolution and stuff like that, it's like we are evolving and we are learning to use more of our brains. So it kind of stands to reason that like some of these out there visions of like psychic energy and things like that would come to pass if like that is part of our true brain function, because you know most people are only functioning on like 5%, probably less, of using their brains. And if we are evolving, then it's like, you know, my visions of the future are of us being a lot more evolved than we are now. But in order to do that, we have to kind of open up, and we have to get out of this kind of subconscious fear manifestation, like, you know, creation and that, because our thoughts are creating our reality. You know, I can see it a lot, how my thoughts have been kind of put into this reality now. Now that I'm living this reality, I'm like, fuck, that is exactly what I was thinking was going to happen, and it's happening. And it's like, holy shit, you know. And just trying to kind of change my thoughts and my way of thinking and trust and go with the flow a lot more. So that's where I am at the moment. And it's like I'm playing a game with my friend and we're like, to be more conscious and more aware, we're like seeing how we can put more love into the world. And every day we kind of report back to each other of things that we are doing to kind of put this positivity out, you know, not to manifest, but because it makes both of us feel better. And that, like, to be putting this kind of positivity out, and it lifts our moods, and you know, we're not so kind of down and like going along with the drudgery of life because we're playing a game. You know, it's making it more fun. It's like looking for opportunities to kind of make a difference, and like, you know, just little things. So it's a game and it's more fun, and it's like being more conscious and more aware of like what's going on around you, and looking for those moments where you can kind of like, you know, tell somebody that they look really nice today, or compliment somebody's crappy cooking, you know, just make people feel better and that. So yeah, it's just because I think, you know, it does, it's like raising your vibration and that, and like going into the lower vibes and the fear mind and this doom and gloom and everything like that it's really draining, and it's not like making you feel good. So I'm trying at the moment to break that within myself so I can go back into my place of awe and wonder and that, and like be in the higher vibes more. I mean, obviously, I know that a lot of stuff is coming up for me for healing, because I didn't even know that I was traumatized about running my own business. Like, I had no idea that I was traumatized about that, but that's another trauma that's come to the surface. And I can see, like, you know, it's created this subconscious programming of fear and lack and everything like that, which in turn is manifesting into my reality. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, I'll leave it there today, and hopefully that will help somebody with their kind of thinking, and it might be what somebody needs to hear. I don't know. Okay, cheerio.